Those two warm-up laps have now been completed, and looks like the front three rows of the Rookie 600s is all sorted. David Brown, we know it was an absentee from the middle of row number 4, and 62 James Hargreaves is their pole position man in the Open 500s. Henry Ross, we know, is not there, unfortunately. It looks like we're missing Marco Holt from this one as well, as the red lights go out, and it's a hop, skip and a jump for the man in the middle of the front row. Number 17, Andrew Morris, just not quite making the best start there, but he does slot into 4th position. I think that could well be for the number 17 man. In fact, it's 5th position for Andrew Morris as we look towards the Open 500s yet again, and we can see a ZX4R leading 3. It's Luca Wilkinson making a lightning start on that Kawasaki. He will go in towards Paddock Hill Bend unchallenged. Stephen Bailey looking up the inside of Jake Donkersley, but in the end he goes has Hayden Smith coming around the outside of him on that number 25 KR1S Kawasaki, but leaders of the Rookie 600s already up towards clearway. Somebody got a little bit wide, and that's a race leader, so a change of the race lead already in these early stages for the Rookie 600s. And it will be David Waters, in fact, who leads the way at the end of lap number 1, and is up to the white line there on the exit of Clark Curve for Andrew Morris. So he momentarily down in 5th place. He's now back up to 4th place, is Andrew Morris on that Honda CBR 600. And again, someone going a little bit wide at Paddock Hill Bend, and potentially losing a position there. No, manages to get it all under control. But Fraser Lizichenko, for the first time this weekend, has someone in front of him. So instead of being chased, he is now the chaser. Open 500s across the line at the end of lap number 1. And it is the number 176 of Luca Wilkinson who leads the way. And fastest first split time for Fraser Lizichenko on this lap. Manages to pull back 0.2 of a second on David Waters. And the race leaders for the 600 already through Clark Curve and onto the front straight yet again. And it's a leading trio for the Open 500s. Luca Wilkinson, Sean Crone and Jake Donkersley. Then a bit of a gap back to the leader in the 2 strokes. That's Stephen Bailey, number 52, who leads the 25 KR1S Kawasaki of Hayden Smith. So leading the 4-stroke Open 500 class, it is Luca Wilkinson. Leading the 2-stroke Open 500s, it is Stephen Bailey. But fastest lap of the race, it's Fraser Lizichenko with a 51.950. 0.2 of a second away from Dave Waters at the start of this lap. But as we go in towards Surtees, it's a change of the race lead there. David Waters has a look at the inside, but there's no room for him. It's not going to keep him down. He's looking for the outside here around clearways. That's a very brave move, and he's still trying to go the long way around. Forced to submit there. Fraser just about holds on to the race lead. Back onto Clark Curve at the end of lap number 3, so already over half race distance, and Dave Waters goes to the inside there. Can he make the move at Paddock Hill Bend? The answer is yes, and it's David Waters who leads the way ahead of Fraser Lizichenko now. So the Kawasaki of number 248 ahead of the Yamaha of number 36. It's David ahead of Fraser. Bit of a gap back to the number 17 of Andrew Morris at 3rd place earlier on today, and he holds that 3rd position at the moment. Of course, this is the penultimate lap already. Just goes to show how quick a 5-lap race around the Brands Hatch Indy circuit really is. Andrew Morris in 3rd position, and just behind them it's a good fight between the number 91 of Jason Cherry and the 55 of Timothy Rose. So they're exactly where they started, in 4th and 5th position, but you just know that Timothy Rose just wants to get in front of Jason Cherry to claim those 13 points. Last lap flag has gone out, and it's still David Waters who leads with the fastest lap of the race of a 51.6. Fastest Rookie 600 time this weekend is a 51.593, so less than 1/10 of a second away from it. Open 500s, and it is still Luca Wilkinson who holds a 0.2 of a second advantage over Sean Crone, and then Jake Donkersley right there in the mix as well. They're coming around Clark Curve onto the start-finish straight now to start their final lap. Jake Donkersley and Sean Crone still there in touching distance with Luca Wilkinson. But the leaders of the Rookie 600s will be with us very, very shortly. They're through Surtees, they're through clearways, There's the apex, get the power on, just feed it through very gently, and then onto Clark Curve, where the checkered flag is now being beckoned for our rookie 600 riders, and it's David Waters who takes the victory ahead of Fraser Lysichenko by 0.076 of a second, and it was purple in sector number 1 for Fraser. Just goes to show how hard he was pushing to try and make it 3 from 3, but it is David Waters with the race win ahead of Fraser Lysichenko, and it's another bronze medal for the number 17 of Andrew Morris.